The following program was paid for by Southern American Media. Fox 30 welcomes you to Meridian's favorite TV personalities and three-time CMA nominees for Broadcast Personality of the Year. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Debbie.
And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Odie has joined us, and along with his good friend Ellie, who keeps watching him.
I tell you what, she is wide awake this morning, come in to say, hey, we just got all kind of friends with us.
Oh, yeah. Sophie's in the studio with us as well today as we start this rainy, what is it?
It's hump day, rainy hump day.
69 right now as you wake up. And again, as we talked at 6:30, make sure that you drive slower and leave home a little earlier.
Yeah, you know, our roads will get slick with some water on them, and it's doesn't have a lot of rain to wash the oil off, and so that oil is just sitting there on top of some of this light mist, so be careful.
Did we talk yesterday any about the newspaper Mississippi Today yesterday?
I don't think so.
One of the reporters have won the Pulitzer Prize for writing the article on the scam that happened in Mississippi. I'm going to say her name is Annie, I think is her name, that she's going to be winning that. She did crack the case. And what has happened across America is, well, newsrooms have had to cut back, and there's a lot of less investigations, and people just take people's words for what's happening. This young lady did not. She moved forward, and, well, she exposed one of the biggest scams that ever happened in the state of Mississippi. And we have to give kudos to her for doing her job.
Now, I can't see in the future, but like you were talking about in the previous show, a lot of people are leaving network TV, and they're going to information kind of like what we've got now, what you've built with this podcast and different forms of news. And the reason that they're going to this type is because of truth.
It has to do with it. That all started what we were talking about this morning with MTV. They're getting rid of their news. And of course, what MTV had to offer probably wasn't what I'd want to hear.
No.
But, you know, when you watch what's supposed to happen with Tucker Carlson, that's a tough word to say this early.
You don't say that 3 times fast.
Tucker Carlson. I'm trying really hard. But he is most likely going to do that. And we also learned yesterday that Elon Musk says, whoa, wait a minute. We hadn't cut a deal. He's more than welcome to do his show here, as anybody on the left is to do on Twitter. So nothing has been negotiated, but it's a strong chance he's going to end up on something like this.
And it's because of truth.
Yeah. Tell it how it is.
Tell it how it is. And it goes back to, here's the other thing. You touch on what goes on around the country, and we should know what goes on around the country. But we need to know what goes on local. That's
Absolutely.
What affects us the most. And then find out. This investigating, it does not take much to really investigate the truth. And if you spent your time with local news, with actual news, and investigative news, it wouldn't matter what source you were putting it out on, people would follow you.
Absolutely. Oh, speaking of talk about things, there's a GOP guy saying that the U.S. Navy is denying that they used, I guess it's a transgender guy to promote joining the Navy. They're down 8,000 recruits, and they were trying to think of ways to do this. And
That's not it.
Yeah, it didn't turn out well. They didn't hit their number either.
Well, I can tell you firsthand experience, when you're on a ship, and you've been at sea for 45, 48 days, you have not seen land for that
Quite some
long.
time.
The last thing you need is a bunch of men and a bunch of women on that ship.
You could cause problems, couldn't you?
You can cause problems.
But now, and correct me, because I don't know this, but is that allowed now, men and women on a sub? I think it is, isn't it?
I think so now. Now, we had, of course, now I got out in 93, I believe. 92. I got out in 92. So it was a little different then.
Oh, yeah. That was during the Clinton days.
Right before Clinton.
That's right.
It was right before him, so it wasn't. Don't ask, don't tell hadn't come out. But you were on a ship. You're taking a shower and everything else. You don't need mixed company. You don't want.
And still, regardless of who's in charge of what, you shouldn't have co-ed bathrooms, period, no matter where it is. No. Schools or
anywhere.
It just produces problems, and I think everybody knows where we're going with that.
We had a couple of female officers,
but
they were not on there very long. They would come on for a few days, and then they were back out again. Of course, they had their own area.
Right.
Their own stateroom.
We were talking about
shower.
the general.
But the general
seaman.
Navy seaman, all that. No, that's just not something that you really need to mix. You're going to get into a whole lot more problems.
Be a can there. Hey, did you see this where the missing 8-year-old was missing for 2 days and he made it off eating snow and he was found safe in Michigan? A good story, good ending there.
Yeah, he was getting his water and so.
But can you imagine what the parents went through during that 2 days thinking your kid is lost in the snow?
Yeah.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah. And not knowing.
That's right. So a good ending to that as we do that. Lots going on this morning. We got a ton of things to talk about what went on over the last 24 hours, and there has been a heap in the news headlines that we're going to be looking at. So make sure to join us for all that. And we also have a woman that was lost in the Australian outback. Now, I've only watched Crocodile Dundee. I've never been to Australia. But
I haven't been over there, but I like the movie.
You got a little bit of an Australian accent there.
Oh, it's not a knife. This is a knife.
That was good.
Yes.
You've watched that movie a time or two, hadn't you?
Yeah, both of them.
Nick, that was funny. But this lady survived off wine and lollipops. She stayed drunk most of the time and had lollipops to get by. But she was found after 5 days, and she was okay.
And mad that they got her. I'm not out of wine yet.
The things that go on.
Oh, me.
Stay close. We'll be right back with all your local headlines and get in to tell you about what happened yesterday. It was excitement. Maybe excitement is not the word, but a lot of what's going on in Newton, Mississippi. We'll tell you all about that as there was tons of law enforcement in the area. We're coming back. We'll tell you about it.
It's campaign season. Do yourself a favor and elect Reed Tree Service. Got a tree that scares you each time that it sways in the wind? Elect Reed Tree Service to remove that threat. Have storm winds knocked a tree down in your yard and you want it gone? Elect Reed Tree Service. Professional, experienced, insured. Call Mike 601-416-1233 and elect Reed Tree Service for all of your needs. Tell them Scotty Ray sent you.
Health Now is your locally owned medical equipment store. Every person's need is a little different, and they offer a little bit of everything from hospital beds, wheelchairs, reclining back wheelchairs, breathing treatments, CPAPs and supplies. They even have walkers, bath products, and oxygen. And the great thing about Health Now is they offer same-day service. They're open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and on call 24/7. Health Now Medical Equipment, where we treat our patients like family.
Your local farmer knows a good deal when he sees one. The L-Series Kubota tractor is the #1 selling compact tractor in the USA and offered at Parish Kubota with 0% financing available. Come see why we're more than a tractor store at Parish Tractor.
Hi, I'm Nick Lisi. I am owner of Pinch and Tails Crawfish Shack here in Meridian, Mississippi. We are located right across the street from the Subway Sandwich Shop, right next to the Little Griddle. If you're a seafood lover, we have the absolute best seafood in town. We carry crawfish, shrimp, lobster tails, raw oysters, snow crab, corn potato sausage, all the fixins. And for all of your special orders and catering needs, please call 601-934-0598. We're located in downtown Marion.
Rodney Wing's mama wanted to make sure that Rodney gets a big birthday wish there. Miss Peggy, we wish Rodney a big one.
The wing nut himself.
The fastest man on dirt.
Poor Miss Peggy.
Go see them this week. Always something fun at Why Not Motorsports Park.
There's something going on.
Let's see. Hillary mentioned a moment ago that some bathrooms at airports now are starting to be co-ed. Ooh.
Let me tell you something. I catch some of y'all going in the bathroom with my granddaughter or my daughter.
I don't see why we would want to do that in America. I really don't. That's
No.
Where are we headed with this?
No.
Why?
Well, I can tell you where we headed.
You know, this all started, what was it, a few years ago with the basketball tournaments in, was it North Carolina, to where they pulled all the money out because they didn't want to have the You remember that?
I remember something about that. Yeah.
But anyway, that's been a while, and it finally calmed down. As we talk
That's a
about
shame.
things local, as we mentioned a moment ago, Newton, Mississippi, I started getting reports of, hey, I just passed like 5 cops. Hey, maybe it was 10. I think there's 40 here now. Is there something going on I should know about? Is there a tank? It wasn't a tank, but it certainly looked like a tank. What do you call that exact machine?
Oh,
You know a word for it, and I can't think of it.
Armored personnel vehicle. I had somebody call me yesterday and said, you know, they got a tank in Newton. And I'm thinking, well, like fish tank, water tank? Because I wasn't up for sure what was going on.
Yeah.
Oh, no, they are an army tank. I said, well, let me see. And I was talking to somebody, and I said, hey, y'all got a tank up there? No, it's not a tank. It's
Whatever it was.
Yeah, it's like an armored personnel.
Looked like one.
It looked like one, and I said, I was thinking to myself then, well, why don't you just run that dude through the house?
It would have really settled things quickly.
You'll end this. It will be over here in just a few minutes.
So what went on yesterday? There was a standoff, so we thought, as U.S. Marshals arrived in Newton yesterday to serve warrants for people that were wanted for, well, a drive-by shooting. There were 3 individuals they were looking for, and the U.S. Marshals came up on a house. 2 family members are sitting outside, and they said, hey, we're looking for so-and-so. They're inside the house, and they won't come out. Ooh, here we go.
JC got me. I couldn't think of it. It's an MRAP.
MRAP,
Thank
that's
you,
it.
JC. Golly, it would not come to my
And it
poor
does
noggin.
look similar to a tank.
It does. Well, now, if you remember Fast and the Furious 8, I think The Rock drove one similar to this.
Yeah, I sure do.
Yeah.
But
You know,
family members would lie to law enforcement about the members being there, and it was a 3-hour standoff with an empty house. Then once law enforcement said, all right, we've reached this, and they stormed the house, they would find the house empty, as we would get the pictures of 3 individuals wanted. And let's take a look here at our suspects that were wanted in the drive-by shootings in Newton as we pull this up. Joaquin Keys, as we go to our next picture here, this would be Josh Newby and also Seth Newby. Now, after we posted the pictures, within minutes, Seth and his brother Josh turned themselves in. So still at large that I'm aware of in Newton this morning would be this gentleman here, Joaquin Keys, still wanted by the Newton County Sheriff's Department. So if you happen to know where he is. And I spoke with Jody, and he said he wanted to be very, very clear about this. If you are aiding and abetting someone and helping them, they will prosecute you at the fullest extent of the law. The 2 ladies that lied to law enforcement officials were also arrested and taken on down to the Newton County Hotel.
3 hots in a cot. I tell you, I love it. Lindsay Haggard, good morning. Good morning, baby duck. That's my baby duck.
What you have to explain that.
That's my stepdaughter.
Oh,
and,
okay.
Love her to death.
Baby duck.
And baby duck. And then she's got a set of twin boys. They're my baby ducklings. But they're growing way on up now, I tell you.
Odie and his ducklings.
Odie and his ducklings. Good morning, Lindsay. I love you, baby girl.
But that's a quick summarization of what went on in Newton County yesterday with all the law enforcement. They were there to serve warrants to take people that were wanted. So 2 out of 3 ain't bad, as they say, and they're looking for the 3rd suspect. Hopefully, he will be taken into custody or turn himself in today.
It won't be long. He has made the Scotty Ray Report, so you know your face is being seen.
Yeah,
Gain high.
it's spreading quickly. Let's see what else went on yesterday. And, you know, this was the scene, and let me show this. This was the scene first when I got word of what was going on in Newton. Here's the scene as they were arriving on scene there. That's like a welcoming party to your front door.
Yeah, that's a lot of activity for Newton.
Yes, it is.
But Jody's not taking any jump.
No, sir, Bob. And as we know that this all happened there near the hospital within the city limits, and the sheriff's department moved in to serve these. And as we said, we'll keep you updated as to what comes about with this also. Now let's back up a day. As we all know what went on in Meridian, we got a statement from Anderson's hospital the other day of an incident that happened in the cafeteria to where a gun was brandished.
Yeah.
The person would leave the cafeteria. No shots were ever fired, but we were going, where did this lady go? Last seen, she was headed down 15th Street. Mm-hmm. Well, they know now. She was arrested and charged, sitting in the Kemper County Jail now after being transported there. MPD Detective Shanetta Stevens said that she has been arrested and she is on a $20,000 bond. She's sitting in the Kemper Newton, and this is Camara May is her name. So that's what went on at Anderson's hospital. Again, she does have bond.
It's got to be a backstory or something more that took place. And I know there's some Anderson's employees that wasn't real happy about how everything was handled. And we hope that all that can get sorted out and find out what's going on. But glad no one was injured on that.
Absolutely. Everybody ended up okay on that. And that's what went on. Now, yesterday was another big day for a situation that happened yesterday. And we start this out before we talk about this with condolences. Number one, we lost another life. And Odie, if I'm right, since the weekend, this makes 3 people within the area that we've lost.
3. Yeah.
So sad as we go out to Highway 11 and 80 to the Toomsuba area here to take a look at this, to where a car wrecked, overturned. I think there was entrapment. And as emergency officials would arrive on the scene, they would soon discover that the person was deceased that lost their life in the wreck.
And you know, there's still investigation going on if maybe there was a medical emergency that actually caused the wreck and not the wreck causing the outcome. So we're not real sure, but definitely keep this family in your prayers. It's not easy either way.
And this was real close to the Toomsuba Baptist Church, wasn't it, where that happened at? Yeah. Maybe you came along, the road was blocked for a little while there as the cleanup took underway. And heartfelt condolences to that family there. And everybody who worked it. It is always tough on anyone who comes upon something like this.
And these wrecks, when it's a regular wreck, we can move some stuff out of the way, get the road open, get traffic going. But in a situation like this, it's got to be an investigation. It takes a little bit longer to conduct that investigation. So roads remain closed or either closed off or down to one lane for a little bit longer period of time. But not knowing what's going on and stuck in traffic, I know that's not easy, but just lift up everybody in prayer.
I ask this because I've always heard this since I was a little bitty fella. Everything kind of comes in threes. As I mentioned, the third person here, we had the I-20 wreck, and they also had the wreck that was south of Newton near Montrose to where someone lost their life. And that's 3 folks. And I've always heard it comes that way. Is it just coincidence, or am I imagining it?
I'm the same. I've always known it comes in threes, and you hate to say it, but a lot of times with fires, you experience 3 calls to fires. Something about that 3. I don't like that.
I don't either, but I thought it was worth mentioning. But you know, like when you lose one celebrity, there's usually 2 more that follow. It's a pattern.
Well, we've lost 1 bank, and 2 more followed.
That's true.
Hey, 3 of them big boys.
Tell it, brother. Tell it, brother. We'll be right back as we begin your early Wednesday morning. It's what day?
Man, it is hump day.
Our local headlines are brought to you by the Rock House Gun and Pawn.
Folks, if your yard is needing grass and you need it quick, talk to our friends at Coates Hydro Seeding. They offer residential and commercial. The great thing about this, it doesn't wash, the water treads, and it holds the soil in place. It's the easiest way to grow grass. That's hydro seeding. You'll get a great-looking lawn without all the dry spots. How many times have you put out seed and it gets washed away, blown away, or even the birds eat it? Talk to our friends at Coates Hydro Seeding, 601-728-1954. Oh, yeah, that means I'm supposed to talk again. Sorry about that.
Here we are.
Another thing that went, as you brought up a fire yesterday, fortunately, this has never happened to me, but I see it so often after you start paying attention to headlines. Let's go out to Collinsville area. Let me pull this up and show you this. Let me make this screen a little bit bigger so everybody can see this. Volunteer fire department was calling this. Look at this in the background. This is a pickup truck that is fully engulfed as firefighters arrived on. Look at this.
Yeah, that's and those are dangerous now because of the batteries. And a Tesla or one of these other fully electric cars, they are not easy to put out at all. And
so we could see more of that is what you're aiming at.
Yeah. And there's been places in Florida that the fire departments have put out PSAs and said, if you drive by so-and-so and you see a car submerged in the pond over here, we know about it. We put it there. It was the only way to put the fire out.
Woo!
So we're going to start seeing a whole lot more very dangerous fires because of batteries. And
technology eventually will catch up and cure that, but boy, that is something different there. You know, it wasn't that long ago. You remember the guy that rolled up to the stop sign on Pine Springs Road right near the country store, and this lady comes by and she goes, "Hey, your truck is smoking," and he leans out. Next thing, it was
gone.
I come along right after that, and again, I've never had that happen, thank goodness. But if you see smoke, pull over. Most of the time, it's usually a radiator hose that's blown. But call emergency officials if you ever think that. They'll come quick as they can to get that taken care of.
I want to tell on myself.
What'd you do?
Me and Robert.
Who's Robert?
He was a buddy I worked with, Robert Wilson. He's probably going to sit back and laugh if he's hearing this. We were in my truck going to lunch.
Yeah.
Now this was when I was big and going out to Why Not, and my truck just had dirt all in it, and I hadn't had time to get everything out. My air conditioner quit, and I'm like, oh,
imagine that.
Man. So we're going to lunch, and I was like, man, it is getting hot. So we rolled our windows down. We get about halfway to lunch, smoke coming out, and I'm like, the truck's on fire. We jump out, and I get to looking. I said, dang, man, I said, that's just dust.
That's bad, Odie.
So we get back in there and drive on off. I said, it's time for me to clean this truck. On the inside.
If you think your truck's on fire, you might be a redneck.
Yeah, that was bad.
I got several calls on this yesterday afternoon. Highway 19 at 65th, right there by Lee's Donuts, where the Workforce Development Center is, of a truck broke down. And as we go to look at that beautiful bean footage, and here it is. Actually, what happened was this guy apparently ran out of gas. And kudos to MPD as they're helping this guy with a jug and all, getting him back going there, pouring diesel fuel into his 18-wheeler to get back on his route.
There's no filling station right around that.
Nope. That's and it could be that you never know. His gauge may not have worked.
True. Or GPS could have had him down that way.
Yep. But that's a bad feeling to run out of fuel in traffic.
And if you run out of fuel on a diesel, they don't just crank right back up.
No, they don't.
You got to prime and hope that you don't have to manually prime that thing.
Yeah. Let's go to the streets of Philadelphia. We got anybody watching from Neshoba County, Philadelphia?
We know y'all there.
Yeah, y'all had a fender bender yesterday. Let's take a look at these pictures, Odie, as we see an 18-wheeler involved with a truck. Now, this would be right down from Philadelphia Auto Sales as we look at this. Now, let me zoom this up a little bit bigger there. You'll see it kind of mashed into that light pole there. Whoops.
Yeah.
That'll give you a headache the next day.
It sure will. That's one of those you take 2 aspirins before you go to bed and 2 before you wake up.
There you go. So y'all be careful as we look at these different incidents that's happened in and around the area there. We also had an incident in Meridian as we look at this little map here that we drew up real quick, like on 23rd Avenue yesterday and 4th Street, right up from Meridian High School. That is a busy area there. Here sits Meridian High. You get to that red light near Allison's home. Boom.
Yeah, and it does stay busy on those roads through there.
So watch that this afternoon as you're getting dressed. And another big adventure that happened in the Meridian yesterday was the Special Olympics run that went through the streets. And as we look at this, Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department shared their pictures of this, and this is where we grabbed these from. And what a great deal this was for all these folks that showed up to this and took part of the run. There they are, and a big thank you. I know Ward was in that and a few others there. So thanks for doing
Joe Collins with his daughter, and she is she's big on swimming, and she has won all kinds of stuff with swimming. So congratulations on her, and can't wait to see what you bring home this year.
And if you ever see a picture like this and see me in this running, always look to see what's behind me.
No, you just better run, too. Don't worry about we'll talk about what's happening behind us later. You just might as well go jump on in and run, too.
I am not a runner, nor have I ever been. That's just never been my thing. But, boy, Tyson, where's Tyson Pompey, who used to go and compete in all these marathons? Man,
yeah,
I respect y'all. Y'all got a little bit more oomph than I do. Now, there was lots of talk about, hey, I'm trying to get to Highway 39. How come I'm sitting here and traffic is not moving? And let me just show you a glimpse of where this all started yesterday. Anybody notice the potholes that we got in Meridian? Yeah, I'm sure you. No.
We ain't got no potholes in Meridian.
You gotten used to it, haven't you?
Yeah.
Right here from the fire station all the way to Highway 39 yesterday, they were filling in those potholes, and traffic was just bumper to bumper trying to get across the road, and that's what they were doing, getting it hot, beating it down. Y'all know how that works. And so that held traffic up for quite some time there on North Hill Street. Not sure if they're going to be out doing that again today. So.
Where there was a place that got tired of their potholes.
What?
So the garden club got together, and they started planting flowers in each one of these potholes. So you saw on this street, you saw all kinds of flowers just up everywhere. And it gave people, you need to dodge this. And I think it caused a little alarm, and the city finally said, I guess we need to come out and
fill them in.
it. Yeah. So, yeah, not saying that a garden club needs to go out there,
You're just saying that happened somewhere else.
Just saying that happened somewhere else. What was that? Some wine and weeds?
Yeah. I got a sleepy little girl here this morning. She just can't hang. She is just falling asleep. She can't help it.
She's done got comfortable in Daddy's lap over there is what it is.
This is my little friend Ellie, if y'all never met her, and she just likes attention. Period. Doesn't care what kind it is. Now, I think the county will have one of these at another time, but this is for the city of Meridian as we come up and we learned from the city yesterday that there is going to be a Meridian Household Hazardous Waste Day set for next weekend, May the 20th. Look at all these things you can drop off. Your paint thinners, oil, tires, paint, anything that you got around the house there. And you've seen those oil pans. If you've got plenty of oil, bring it down. They'll take it and dispose of it. You can call 485-1970 to find out more about that. And you let us know about the county when you hear about that.
And then when they come back around, they'll do, I think, twice a year. And whatever you've got, bring it down there, and they'll get rid of it.
Yeah.
It's a good thing, a real good thing. So paint, you got some old paint, take it down there, get rid of it where it's not in general trash, where we keep some of this stuff out of our landfill.
Yeah,
we need to get Jonas Carter to come on with us one morning. Talk about somebody, he's with the county that does the law for trash and all that, and has done an outstanding job. And what he's done for the county was cleaning up these dump sites.
A lot of work goes into that. A
lot of work. And he just got recognized by Keep America Beautiful and Keep Mississippi Beautiful through Keep Meridian, Lauderdale County Beautiful. So he's done a real good job.
If you travel 10th Avenue, we got a couple streets that are going to be kind of blocked today. And this would be if you're sitting at the red light on Highway 39 by Walmart and Harry Mayer's, if you were to take a right that runs into 10th Avenue and you were to go left toward downtown Meridian, this is where it will affect. 31st through 33rd is going to be closed today also, from right here up to 33rd Street. Right there, road closes. They do repairs on that. Again, that's 10th Avenue, so you can't make it quite down. You'd have to make a little detour and come back on the road. So keep that in mind in your planning your travels today if you go that way. Up and coming, there's more. Believe it or not, we got a whole lot more that's gone on in the last 24 hours.
7:30, fastest hour in TV.
We'll be right back. Have you been wanting your own building, your own shed? Speak to our friends at Best Sadia Building, 601-728-1954. Now, they can custom build you a home from a barn dominium. Maybe it's a shed that you're needing or a simple place to park your car, a garage, a camp house. Maybe you need a place to park your tractor, your motorcycle, or even that lawnmower. They can custom design whatever it is you need. Quality work, trustworthy, Best Sadia Buildings. Speak with Drew, 601-728-1954. If you're an outdoorsman, Garrett's Outfitters is a place to head to in Meridian. They have a complete line of gloves to keep your hands warm in these cold mornings, toboggans to block that wind, and America's favorite, Carhartt, from the rugged overalls to slacks and shirts. Work boots and mud boots as well. Browse around the gun accessories and a complete line of just about any gun. Protect your investment, your guns, with one of the many Browning gun safes they have to choose from. For the outdoorsman in your family, it's Garrett's, 3505 8th Street, Meridian. Summertime has arrived, and Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 has the exact lawnmower for your need. If you've got a big yard with acres and acres to mow, they have a mower for that. No matter the size yard you have, Freeman Tractor has the lawnmower that fits you and your budget. From 48-inch all the way up to 60, or the X-Mark lawnmower. Plenty of these to choose from. Also, they carry a complete line of LS tractors. Come by for a test drive today. Financing available. Drop in today to Freeman Tractor, Highway 494, see coleslaw or buttermilk.
Have you been in an auto accident? Call Will Parker. Get the help you deserve. Call Will Parker. Don't settle for less and know your rights. Call Will Parker. Call or go online at parkerfirm.net. Call your Meridian lawyer, Will Parker.
Well, as we talk about new ways to make a living, there's an exciting field here, and you help others. MCC offers this course.
Yeah, emergency management and communications. And
break that down. What does that mean, Odie?
So it goes over how everything with emergency management works and working through FEMA. But then it really goes over communications and 911 operations. And if you want to make a difference, you're behind the scenes. They don't get as much kudos as everybody should give them. But you are the lifeline to police, sheriff, fire, ambulance, all of this on a day-to-day basis, and you can actually make a difference in people's lives.
Well, they call you when they're in trouble.
That's right. And it goes straight through them, and they are the ones that dispatch help out to each one of these. And you've got to go through some training and know what to do. And 911 communications is definitely a field for few. But there are openings. They'll do the training for you, but you can go to MCC, take this class, get your certification, and start a new job right now, right here in Meridian at MCC.
You'll like it a whole bunch there. Already 7:32, Scotty Ray and Odie on this early Tuesday morning. It's, hump day. I can't say it as well as you do, but it is.
You know, old Mike, Mike, what day is it, Mike? It's hump day.
Oh, back in 1818, I don't know if they made a big deal out of this, how many headlines made, but this old boy would pass away on this date. Anybody remember somebody named Paul Revere?
Yeah.
He rode around after dark one time.
That's right.
One if by land
and two if by sea, I believe.
And what was the third one if they got a tank?
Yeah, they're going to send that to Newton.
In 1863, one of the South's greatest generals would pass away by the hand of his own men. Stonewall Jackson would die today as he returned to camp, and he was killed by friendly fire. He would be shot, and he would die later, I think a day later, from his wounds there. Stonewall Jackson. As we look at, I know this was popular at one time, and I'm not a dancer.
I'm not either. I'm a wiggler.
A wiggler?
Go out there and just move. Now, Amy dances, but I try.
This old boy could do it. Anybody remember the name Fred Astaire? Probably one of the most noted dancers there ever was. Fred Astaire.
And could sing and dance and do all that kind of stuff. Of course, that was all you saw on TV then.
Yeah, everything was really a musical back in that time frame, wasn't it?
It really was.
Yeah, it sure was. All right, let's see what else happened today. Who could forget this woman? As a kid, you saw her every other TV commercial. It's the quicker picker-upper.
That's right.
Her name was actually Nancy Walker, and she was born on this date in 1922. She'd do a lot of movies and TV shows, but she would be only remembered for being the bounty waitress.
That's it.
She'd pick up that coffee in a heartbeat. Now you know who she is, Nancy Walker.
You got a name.
Yeah. As we go back to remember one of the funniest TV shows, I'll go with the first one. I know there was several others.
Yeah.
But Police Academy. Y'all remember a lady named Marion Ramsey?
Yeah,
she had that little It's her birthday. 1947 is when she was born, and really, Phi Tower. And who was the football player that played Phi Tower? That big guy.
Hightower.
He's Hightower. He's passed away, believe it or not.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He sure has.
Yeah. You know, Hightower, he had to rip the front seat out of that car so he could sit in the back seat to get in it. Oh, man, that was funny.
All right, let's see what else went on today. Anybody, I did as a kid, and I probably, if it still came in, would sit down and watch it because it's addictive.
Yeah.
The Little Rascals. Anybody remember that?
Well, that's how we used to play growing up. They'd be 4, 5, 6 of us always getting into mischief.
Born in 1935 there. He played Spanky's little friend there, and he passed away in 1968. But our gang, I think it was probably referred to more than anything back in the day, but we all know it as that. Did you see the remake of that when they done Reba was in it?
Yeah, I think I remember seeing it. It's been so long I don't recall everything that I couldn't go through and quote any lines, but
Reba was in it. That's all that matters. And just watch that one scene. You're like, well, I'm up to date on that.
Okay.
1970, a song would be released, and it would be kind of her theme song of where she came from and what she did. She goes down in history as a lady upon ladies. And who am I talking about? Well, the coal miner's daughter.
That's right. Was
released on this day.
Wow.
Back in Butcher Holler, if you've never heard the song, and they even made a movie out of it. It impressed so many people there.
Yeah.
1976, I can't remember if she was still married to George or not, but she got herself, and you haven't heard of a T-Bird in years. Anybody remember a young lady named Tammy Wynette?
Yeah.
Whew, 34th birthday back in 76. It was a gift from George to Tammy.
That's a big old car. That stretched from here to there.
What do you call those things that was in ladies' hairs back then? And you see it, don't you?
Yeah, it's like the do-rag for the back of your head.
It's not a handkerchief. I thought it had I could be wrong.
A proper name for what it was.
But back in the day,
somebody knows.
You did see that.
Oh, an awful lot.
Not anymore, though. 1980, who was on the cover of TV Guide? We all watched this from Snyder on down, but it was the ladies there that you would find there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. One day at a time.
Yep.
And that also had a theme song.
Bandana.
Okay, maybe it wasn't as big as I thought it was.
Just everybody wore it.
I thought it had a different name. It's plain old bandana. Okay. I stand corrected there.
All right, then.
Appreciate
so we got
that.
Smart people out there that pay attention.
No more than we ever will know.
Yeah.
It would be 1983, and there was fighting amongst them. There was. They didn't get along. Even to the day they passed away, they still, I don't think, really talked.
They just made a movie together. Or a TV show, and that was it.
This was it. 1983, the last episode aired of Laverne and Shirley, and then it would become Laverne there for a little while, and it really got no traction. It just lost its charisma after, what was her name, Sydney, I believe? Left the show.
Remember.
But it was funny back in the day from Milwaukee there making beer.
That's right. And they wore one of them things.
Yeah, they sure did. In the line where they were putting the caps on the beer.
See, we did watch it.
What's that name there that I can't pronounce there?
Babushka?
Yeah. I'm going to.
That one.
Whoa, somebody's awake. Whoa.
She just had to turn over.
She's looking for a nice arm to lay her head on now. Laziest dog in Lauderdale County. right here. Let's see what else went on today. Odie, as we'll find out, it was 1982, the year before, that this would end. And this was so sad because it was a part of all of our childhoods as we look at the last show of Little House on the Prairie aired.
You know, people could go back and watch that and get an idea of what it meant to go earn a living.
Oh, yeah.
And not sit at home and wait for the mailman to run.
It was all that was back. Seriously, that was back when if you didn't grow your own crops, you didn't eat.
And your neighbors were to help you if
absolutely.
you deserved it, or you went and got you a little job and you.
Well, it all worked out.
Bit.
That was back in the day. Would y'all remember what they used to call barn raisins, to where you helped your neighbors?
That's exactly it. 4 of us would get together and we'll all build each other a house and a barn and help you take care of it. But once you got started, you were on your own. There was no government handing you a check. If you wanted to eat, you worked for it. Mm-hmm. And that's the way it should be.
Look there. There's the word. It was so simple, and it was on the tip of my tongue the entire time. A scarf. I mean, come on. What did I think of that?
A headscarf.
Headscarf. That's what it was. Well, thank you, ladies, for answering that, Peggy, and also Donna. Thank y'all so much there.
Yeah.
We're learning.
We're
every
getting
day.
there.
Yeah, every day.
But that's
every
what
day.
we use y'all for. Y'all are so smart.
That's right. We'll be right back because Ellie's got a yawn, and we don't want to show that on television. So we'll be right back here as she takes a little yawn. We'll tell you what's coming up in just a moment.
Your next Maytag or Whirlpool appliance is waiting on you at All Temp Appliance and Refrigerator. If you've been trying to locate a freezer, stop by and see their big selection of upright and chest freezers, a showroom full of stoves, gas, and electric. Maybe it's a new refrigerator from large double doors to the simplest of refrigerators. Name brand washers and dryers like Speed Queen and Amana. And delivery is available with a great service department to back up what they sell. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 4, and by appointment after hours and weekends.
Summertime has arrived, and Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 has the exact lawnmower for your need. If you've got a big yard with acres and acres to mow, they have a mower for that. No matter the size yard you have, Freeman Tractor has the lawnmower that fits you and your budget. From 48-inch all the way up to 60, or the X-Mark lawnmower. Plenty of these to choose from. Also, they carry a complete line of LS tractors. Come by for a test drive today. Financing available. Drop in today to Freeman Tractor, Highway 494, see coleslaw or buttermilk.
At the Back Porch, we're bringing families back together for fun, food, and all the things you love to enjoy around your home. Everything starts with a great grill, cookware, and accessories. Add in locally sourced meat and dairy, frozen vegetables and casseroles, and over 500 brands of spices and sauces. Relax in our chairs, swings, and daybeds, and have fun with our cornhole boards. From animal print coolers to authentic Louis Vuitton purses, we have what you need. When you see the big chair, you've made it to the Back Porch.
Have you been hurt on the job? Call Will Parker. Get the help you deserve. Call Will Parker. Know your rights when it comes to the workplace injuries. Call Will Parker. Call or go online at parkerfirm.net. Call your Meridian lawyer, Will Parker.
Well, if you're looking for a great place to purchase your gas or whatever the case may be, right here at Maple's One Stop. As we get hot, need something to drink. Don't forget those Gatorade products, 2 for $5.29 for the 28-ounce Gatorade. Pepsi products, 2 for $4. You can even take advantage of the citrus drinks there, 2 for $5. And so much more as they offer lunch daily and breakfast. Drop in and see them there. St. Paul's store, either out in Causeyville. Maybe it's a cold drink you need or a candy bar, bag of chips, or maybe a lottery ticket. They got it all and very affordable gasoline. See them today. 6 locations around town. From Causeyville, you'll see them there at Pine Springs, Bonita. Also the 31st to Broadmoor. And also the Last Chance Tobacco there on 493.
Last chance. You better go ahead and get it before you get on down the road.
Yeah, because that is it.
That's it.
That's why it's called Last Chance. Let's see, as we begin today, a few more things that are going on in and around the area here. Let me back up here. Did you see that where the Utah woman wrote the book about how she was grieving to get over her husband and her kids were having a hard time? She's been arrested for the murder of the guy after she wrote a book.
Wow.
Now, it doesn't mean that you're guilty, but she has been charged. Something led officials to that.
Well, they probably read the book and she talked about some things that
Man,
maybe she shouldn't have known about.
I don't. I guess it would take a special person to do something like that. I'll leave it at that. I couldn't do that.
No. You'd kill your spouse and then turn around and try and write a sad story about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you see where Mississippi has lost 2,400 taxpayers roughly? That equivalates to about 47 million taxpayers gone.
And I wonder how many of those moved away. I wonder how many of those saw a free government check and decided, well, no, if I can get this every month, I just won't work. Or what that was broke down to.
Yeah, the breakdown of it. We'll see there.
Yeah.
We're seeing California, tons of people move out of California to Texas. And the question of that is, will they take their values there and change the voting rights in those states? If you're running from it, don't go change it in another state. That's why I say that.
Yeah, a lot of y'all voted it in, then you're running from it. You try and take the same stuff with you. And next thing you know, you've done messed up that state.
And you see this a lot with eggs, and you see this with milk. Now they're saying this with the cattle industry as well. The farmer grows the cattle. The price of beef goes up. You would think, well, that farmer's making more money. That's not always necessarily the case. And as we see this with cattle right now, it's the manufacturer where they have it cut up and shipped that's making the extra money there, and the farmer not making any more.
No, he's losing money because they dropped his price per pound. It's terrible.
The American farmer is just disappearing off the face of the earth. Truly.
You can imagine how many people have gotten into chicken coops with the price of eggs. They're growing and raising their own eggs now. They're growing their own chickens, or getting their own eggs from outside. It's not going to be long. You're going to see people with 2 or 3 cows in the yard. And there's a company, I can't remember exactly where they're from. They're close by. They will come to your house, butcher your cow.
Really?
Get everything cleaned up, give it to you, and they're on their way.
Because I know a lot of people will go in with other families and they'll buy a cow together.
I've wanted to do that. I just want a quarter of a cow, so it's going to take 4 of us go in there and buy a quarter of a cow, and now we can eat for a year, and I don't have to go and get beef that's been raised on chemicals and all this other
It's
stuff.
all about what the cow eats as to how well it tastes, too.
It really is. And then, what are we spraying on all of our vegetables? People are starting to get their gardens. They've got the chickens, and now your gardens, your cows. People are going back to self-sufficiency.
Yeah, garden, let me warn y'all, if no one, you're thinking, boy, I'd like to have a garden. It's work.
You better start out with 5 plants, see if you like it.
Because it is not one for the folks who are not used to weeding and those. You know what? I tried to grow watermelons for like 4 years in a row, and I never got one to grow right. Either my soul, I don't know what it was, but me and my neighbor went in each year and grew watermelons, and I don't know if we ever got one watermelon to eat each.
I'm going to grow some square ones.
Whoop, square ones. Mm-hmm. Oh, boy, here we go. Tell me about your square watermelon.
They're called refrigerator friendly, so you can keep it stacked up and it don't roll around the refrigerator.
Okay, how do you grow this, Odie?
Well, you got to shape it as it's growing.
Oh, okay.
Y'all going to see a square watermelon come up this year, and you're going to be like, dog, he did it.
Y'all don't trust Odie. I think he's pulling somebody's leg here. Watch him, watch him, watch him. As we look to this, we see that in Tunica County, this will be in the northwest corner of Mississippi, a Mississippi Highway Patrol officer was involved with a pedestrian. Pedestrian was struck and killed by a highway patrolman. We pass along condolences on that. A 27-year-old. Yeah. We're not sure all the circumstances of what caused the accident, but one can only imagine and how sad that is. And again, that's Tunica. Near Memphis is about where that is in the state of Mississippi.
Up there where them casinos is at.
Sure is, right there at the river. So, again, we pass along condolences. And as always with these things, they do investigations galore to find out more. Scotty Ray and Odie, y'all put a smile on. It is what day?
It is hump day, and we're close to the end of the show. But y'all come back. We will be.
Dr. John Line and Dr. Jennifer Dooley have expanded their services when Dr. Cook retired last year. Advanced Vision Center is located on the 5th floor of Anderson's Medical Tower. Now, they bring experience in the most advanced technology to the Meridian area, whether it's your first off that exam. And all of your text messages are blurry now. Advanced Vision Center knows how important your eyes are to you. After all, they are your windows to the world. Call today for an appointment. 601-553-2100.
H&H Residential of Meridian is your #1 carpet and flooring store. If you've been thinking of a new look for your home or office, call for a free estimate or consultation. H&H can install or you can do it yourself. H&H has all of your design needs from color, style, and texture. If you can dream it, H&H can make it a reality. Come see the large selection of hardwood flooring, laminate, vinyl, and even carpet. H&H Residential of Meridian, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4, 321 Hawkins Crossing Road. Call Rosemary anytime, 601-462-9541.
Collinsville, Mr. Discount Drugs, your local pharmacy and gift shop, thanks you for your continued support. Whether you shop with us in-store, through our app, over the phone, or in our drive-thru, our team will provide the best personalized customer service experience you expect from your local pharmacy. When you call or message us, you are promptly greeted by the Mr. Discount team that's ready to help. When you choose our pharmacy, you're choosing a locally owned pharmacy that cares about you and your community. Collinsville, Mr. Discount Drugs makes a difference.
I'm Chris Bullock, and I'm a candidate for Lauderdale County District 1 Supervisor. As a former Meridian Police Department cadet and Lauderdale County Sheriff's Office Ranger, public safety will always be a top priority. As supervisor, I'll stand with our brave law enforcement officers and promote law and order. I'll approve funding for necessary personnel, training, and equipment to ensure professional service and safer community. I ask for your prayers, and I ask for your support.
Paid Political by friends of Chris Bullock. Welcome back with Scotty Ray and Odie as we near the top of the hour. We're not out of time yet. As we look at a few more headlines from across the state of Mississippi, we go to South Mississippi to Brookhaven. If y'all remember, this story broke, it's probably been a little over a year ago, where a FedEx driver, and it often happens, and you'll notice sometimes the U.S. mail arrives at my house in a U-Haul truck.
It's happened.
Trucks break down. They have to go borrow or rent a vehicle to keep the route going. Well, in Brookhaven, a subdivision, a guy was delivering FedEx packages. It was in a plain white van. And a father and son decided that, well, it was maybe a thief. And they started chasing the guy. Then they shot at the guy. And then they didn't hit him, but they shot the van up, tried to block him in, and he got away and called police. He's in deep trouble at this point. Now a trial has been set for August is when this is going to happen. We'll find out what happens with this as charges are pending, and this could get very serious on them. And
it needs to be.
And again, I support the Second Amendment right without a doubt. But somebody made a comment yesterday that I read that said, to deer hunt, you got to go through a lot of training there to get your license to be able to hunt. So why isn't it that if you have a right to tote a gun that you don't have to go through a mandatory class, everyone? I don't have an answer for that.
Well, it goes back, and here's Odie's thought. It goes back to the day and time where mom and daddies raised the kids. Not a TV, not a neighbor, not another kid, but the mama and the daddy raised the kid, and along with it taught them right and wrong, and along with it, if you had a gun, what you should and shouldn't do with that gun.
Good point.
And how to act. And now mamas and daddies are not raising the kids. And actually, these people right here, they're old enough that their mom and daddies probably taught them.
Yeah.
They just didn't. They had some more problems, but that's a problem in our society is we're not teaching our kids what we need to know in daily life.
A lot of our problems do start with one thing on family and God. Well, two things there, as I correct myself. I said two things, but those two things, you bring that back to the family and visit church every once in a while, you will know the difference between right and wrong. And it's a little thing called conscience. What's the little guy that gets on your shoulder?
The little devil and the angel.
Yeah.
Now, I'm all for you carrying a gun. And if somebody comes up at your house that's strange,
you have a right to protect your property.
You have a right to protect your property. Find out, hey, man, can I help you? But as far as just coming out and start shooting and all that,
without
we got
asking
a problem.
questions, you just don't do that.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that's going on there. Let's see what's happening else. How do y'all feel about this? Everybody knew this man as one of the greatest preachers. You would put him right up there. Stanley, Brother Charles Stanley.
Yeah.
His grandson, Charles Stanley, who I'm talking about, his grandson, what has it been, 3 weeks maybe?
Yeah, just right down the road. Not long.
The things that he got was his grandfather's. He put up on eBay for sale, including his pocket watch and different items. As we look at this, a man bought it all and then returned it to the family and said that these items should not be sold so quickly and done this way. And boy, the internet is eating the grandson alive on doing this.
I liked what Dave Ramsey said.
What did he say?
He said, "This is my money. And just because my kids are my next in line does not mean they automatically get my money. They have to go by my way of thought before you get my money when I'm dead and gone." Sounds like grandson needs a little bit of that. Well, wait a minute now. If you just going to take my stuff and sell it, maybe you don't deserve anything I've got left.
That is a controversy there. You know, how soon can you? He shouldn't have sold it to begin with. There's certain things that are passed down from family member to family member that should not be sold. I think we all agree on that.
And if you're going to sell it to a family member.
Yeah.
I'm in bad. I need help. I need some money. Will you help me? But don't sell that on eBay.
Ooh, boy. It didn't make Americans real happy with him on that. Another thing is, I think they should admit it, as Joe Biden's granddaughter that keeps getting ignored. We all know this. Hunter's other little girl.
Yeah.
She's not being acknowledged as a child of theirs. And America is split on the decision.
Well, the judge is going to rule to change her name to Biden. And I think that's what he got called to court and said, you will show up in court. And he tried to get his attorney saying, oh, he doesn't need to be in court. And the judge says, oh, yeah, he does. So it's over all of that.
Lots going on in our nation as we watch these different stories that happen. And we want to say a thank you to every one of you for joining us. As always, if you see something, let us know. You can inbox us at Scotty Ray 1969 at AOL. Let us know what you're seeing, or just inbox it on Facebook. We'll find it and get back with you on that. And what a fast hour we've had again.
Yeah, I mean, here we are. It's hump day today. Thursday's next. Friday's coming. Y'all just hang on. But we'll be back in 23 hours. Thank y'all for staying with us and enjoying this day with us. And just hope everyone has a blessed day. We love you. Be safe. Have a great day. See you in 23 hours.
We're going to see if we can wake little Ellie up in between now and then.
That's right.
See y'all then.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: